Mark, you said at the end of last season, after you won the Sun for series, that you felt that the guys had only played to 70% of their capability. Obviously delighted to win the tournament, but going ahead into this season, what are the areas that you feel the guys need to improve?
Sure, a lot of areas. I think our catching wasn't good. I think we put ourselves under pressure. The one thing I did say about last season is that I think we've learned that in a 4-day game that sometimes you can't be on top, and sometimes you've really got to fight out a draw, and I think we did that very well and gave ourselves the opportunity to win it coming into the last couple of games. So that's something that we've hopped on as well, is that sometimes you're on the back foot, whether you lose a toss or just bat poorly in the first innings. So we've spoken about that as well. We know that we play very well if we're ahead of the game. So yes, we'd like to be ahead of the game as many times as possible, but that's not always going to be it. Batting wise, I think we need more scores of over 400. I think too many times last season we sort of got ourselves in and got ourselves out. Some poor shots, some soft dismissals, and then you end up getting just over 300, and just over 300 is not really winning you a game in those conditions that we had last year, especially. In order to dominate a game of cricket, you need to go 400 plus. So yeah, the batting is obviously massive for us. Hopefully the wickets are a little bit greener this year around. It was pretty dead in the first part of the season. So that's something that we've also will probably try and do to get more result-friendly wickets. I think it'll stand us in good stead for the competition, and also more exciting for the competition as well.
Sorry, I just want to follow up on that, because I see CSA have kept the 6 points for a draw thing, which did the coaches have input on that?
Yeah, look, it was discussed at the coaches conference. There's obviously a couple of things that you can bring to the table, but they felt that first season it was a tight competition, so maybe give it another option, give it another go in this next season, and if it's still not working, then they can maybe change it a bit. I think a lot of sides will probably take a lot of heart out of last season, especially the way the season finished. A lot more results, a lot more aggressive cricket. I suppose, if you've got the characters in the team to come out there and try to play like that from ball one, then in the competition as well, then you might lose a game here and there, but I think that the most positive side will probably win the competition.
You've got a couple of new faces along this season, and then a guy that used to be here who's come back. Yeah. How has everybody kind of slotted together?
Yeah, very very well. The guys that have come back in the system, Tennis has come back here. He's a fantastic player, so looking forward to seeing him putting some big performances for us. Seppo has been unbelievable. His attitude is great. He's got a great character. He's fitted in nicely with the guys around. So yeah, we've unfortunately, Corbin Bosch has picked up quite a serious injury at the end of last season. So he's still trying to get back into fitness. Hopefully he can get into his bowling and be ready for us towards the end of the season. To have a guy like that who can bowl quick towards the end of the season will be a nice plus for us, especially with the amount of cricket that is supposed to be played.
Just on Jimbo quickly, he sort of had an up and down time of it at the Cobras. He was a part of the team and then kind of dropped out of it. What does he bring to your squad that will make it better than the one last year?
Depth. Like I chat to him as well, sometimes we won't be able to play. We've got some good international players coming into the system. He understands that, and he just wants to try and make a difference every time he can play. So I think he's got a fantastic attitude. When we played against the Cobras in Paul, he ran in the whole day. He tried really hard. I like that straight away from the start. We've been working on a couple of little technical things, and maybe the change of environment for him will be better suited for him. He seems to have taken well to the guys. So yeah, we'll just have to wait and see whether it's a good call or bad call. I'm very happy with him at the moment. His attitude for me is the main thing. And hopefully when he does get his opportunity, he can do what he wants, and let's make a difference.
All right, you're the defending champions for the series, and there haven't been a lot of changes to your squad. It's pretty much a similar look with the one or two couple of new faces. What are the challenges that you're expecting for the season coming up, and how do you think these new additions will be able to to address that?
I don't think that you need a change of a squad like that. We've got a good sort of balance of youth and experience, and we've got a couple of youngsters coming in as well. So, I think every time at the beginning of a season, media ask me the same question. What are the challenges going to be? And everyone's looking at you because you've been so successful. I think we've learned how to deal with that. We speak about it openly. We don't shy away from maybe being the favourites. I think that's something that we sort of realise is a positive, and we've got to try to stay one step ahead of the rest of the sides. We understand that the sides are going to be training harder and doing a lot more work to try and sort of get to our sort of stage at the moment. But yeah, that's how we do our work. I think we've got a strong culture. Our guys work really hard on their games. They're open and honest. We had a very good pre-season to Seychelles, which wasn't really cricket orientated, but certainly we got to gel together well as a team. And like I said, I think we prepared really well, and we're up for the challenge. We understand people maybe have a target on our backs. We don't look behind, we look forward. And if we can get off to a good start and get some momentum for the rest of the competition and also the season, then we know we can play very good cricket leading from the front.
And what about the domestic treble, as it's referred to? You've come pretty close for a couple of seasons now. Do you think that this is the year for you and the Titans squad?
I hope so. But no, that's way ahead. We're focusing on that first hour, the first day, which is tomorrow. And if you play good cricket, you can get yourself into a position where you start sort of performing to try and win a trophy. But there's a lot of cricket that has to come in between that. A lot of, not cricket, but a lot of other stuff that need to fall into place as well. So after we've got our feet firmly on the ground, we've put in a lot of hard work. If we can get ourselves into position to win trophies, then fantastic. If not, then we've got to try and make the best of our season.
I think in last year's 4-day competition you used something like 25 players. Are you expecting the same sort of disruption this season, and how do you handle that?
Well, hopefully, if we get disruptions, then the guys are making the national setup and they're getting drafted into squads. So, look, I didn't expect to lose 4 or 5 of my senior contracted players last season, but it happened. Thankfully, like I said. I've said at the beginning of each season, my job is to try and produce cricketers for the Proteas side. So, if we lose a couple of players, then we're going to have to see how it goes and try to fill the gaps up. With guys making selections up above us, it opens up gaps for other guys to come through. And I was really impressed last season with the guys that did come through. We had youngsters who maybe thought, am I good enough for this level? And a guy like Rivaldo Munsami coming through, and he batted really well. With selections up above, it gives the opportunities to youngsters. And I do believe that we've got a squad with enough talent, and if the opportunity arrives, then there's no reason why they shouldn't be able to fill the gaps, especially with a few senior players that we've got around the system.
Just a personal coaching perspective, you've had 2 very successful seasons here now, and you've extended. If you sort of try to visualize into the future what coaching might hold for you, if this is it, or do you want to get up to the national level at all?
Not at all. My job is here at the moment. I really enjoy the setup here. I think we've got a fantastic administration as well. I don't want to look ahead. You never quite know. I didn't know that I was going to be here a couple of years ago. So, things change in life. And personally, I've got other things that's going to be changing as well. So, I'll just spend each year that I can over here and try to do the best and take it year by year. Like I said, I'm enjoying myself.
Are you enjoying yourself even more now than you imagined you would?
I think so. I didn't quite think about me being a head coach in any sort of way. I've always enjoyed the coaching roles, so I think the coaching side's always been there. But I've been welcomed with open arms here, and a fantastic dressing room, great guys. I've just tried to fit in and add value where I can. And like I said, we're very well led from the top. We do get spoiled here quite a bit. The guys do look after us. But if we can keep repaying our administration with trophies and rewards, then I think the whole system is going to go from strength to strength.
Mark, what do you make of the Dolphins? First opposition.
whenever a Dolphins team shows up, and I don't care who's on the paper, you know that they are coached very well by Grant Morgan, and they're going to bring a fight to us, and we understand that, and we do respect them as a cricket team. We've had some fantastic battles with them in the past, so you know, on paper, if we're really honest, it might look a little bit thin, and they're missing a couple of their big players, but we're not going to take that lightly at all. We're going to go out there and try and play good aggressive cricket and respectful cricket to them as well, because we know what they can bring, and they're going to bring their A game against us. Morgs has been here before, he's worked at the Titans, so he knows what to expect, so he'll get his boys revved up.
All right. Coach, you're known very well for giving young players opportunities into the team. Are there any new faces that we should be looking out for the upcoming season that you've been keeping an eye on?
Yeah, look, like I said, you know, if there's opportunity for a youngster to get a go, then yeah, I don't mind doing that. You don't do that with 6 or 7 other players. You do that with 1 or 2, and I think that we've got enough seniority and experience to cover 1 or 2 roles. If you look at our squad, I mean, Boucher unfortunately injured, but you got Wandile now has come through as well. His game's gone from strength to strength, obviously in the nets and working on his technique and that, but he's certainly another youngster with a great attitude. We've seen what he can do on the big stage and under 19 levels, so if there's a gap for him to get opportunity, then yeah, you'll probably see him in the season somewhere, and hopefully, you know, he falls into that role big time. A guy like Tony DeZorzi, you know, he's had a very good off season. We also got Tony, and we knew he was going to be pretty raw in the beginning. But we did back him, and you know, he's come back from emerging tours now as one of the senior players, and he's certainly a youngster who's way ahead of his years. So I'm expecting big things from a couple of these guys this season. Mooney, you know, another one who's worked hard in his game. So we've got so many youngsters coming through, but opportunities might be, you know, difficult to give them all a go at the same time. But yeah, hopefully when they do get the opportunity, their true colours come through.
All right.
Thanks very much.
Fantastic. Thanks so much, Coach. All the best for the